One thing that I did want to say before we go completely over all of this is the breakdown of caregivers in America today as we know it. 60% of them are women. Raise your hand if you're surprised at that. I used to listen to this male caregiver friend of mine, and he cared for his wife for a long time after a stroke. And he said, I didn't sign up for this. I don't have that caring, nurturing gene like women have. I have the go play golf, go fish gene. It's not a natural for a lot of men. And I'm not discounting men, because there are a lot of men who are in that role. And I do want to applaud you. And I will say, when I first started studying this in about 2008, the percentage of male caregivers was only about 30%. So men are rising to the occasion and taking on the role. The other thing that's happening is that there are more millennials in this role now, caring for parents and grandparents. 25% of caregivers in America is a millennial. That surprised me when I read it, because that's not the picture you read about of the personality of a millennial, is it? But they are rising to the occasion as well. 70% of us caregivers work full-time. I say us because I'm still one. There's actually a term in the caregiving industry called the silent working caregiver. Over 50% of caregivers choose not to tell their employer that they're caring for a loved one at home. Now, why do you think that is? Any of us happen to spend a lot of time on the phone for stuff not related to your job? A lot of time going back and forth to the doctor's office, MRI scans, PT, all the things that you have to do during the course of a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, impact your job, don't they? I can so relate, because I went through that a lot with my sweet father, who called me sometimes 3 or 4 times in the middle of the day. When he was taking care of my mom, and it was really challenging because of her dementia. Poor man, he would call me and go, Toula, Toula, in his high-pitched voice because he was so stressed. Toula, help! Toula, talk to her! Talk to her! She wants another hydrocodone. I just gave her one 3 minutes ago. She doesn't remember. Talk to her! Well, and he had the phone to mom, and I'm at work, and I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, that is real life for the working caregiver. There's an impact on you. You've got stress at work, and you bring the stress of being a caregiver with you, to work, and that compounds the stress that you feel. Working caregivers report that about 68% of them make accommodations. They either go part-time, maybe if they're lucky, have an employer will let them work from home for a while, do some job sharing. A lot of people retire earlier than they planned. Women are really guilty of this. And I say guilty because I don't think it's the best idea myself, normally. When a woman retires early to go home and care for an aging parent, for instance, the financial impact on average to her is $324,000 to her retirement portfolio. My mama used to say to me, when are you going to quit your job and take care of me? I was single at the time. Say, Mommy, you got $1 million in the bank to take care of me, so when you're gone, that's a huge impact. Who can afford that hit to their retirement portfolio? It's a little bit less for men, which I find is kind of interesting.